He doesn't want to zoom his face. He doesn't want to zoom his face. I said, in case I make a mistake.
Alright. And also the slide.
Good morning, everybody. So it's implementing the leadership approach. Here's some key facts about our country. Many of you asked some details about the country. More important thing is last year our economy grew by 7.4%, and this year too we expect 7.5% growth. And the economy is emerging and needs a service-led growth. Still, we are having some continuing deficits. We are having a budget deficit of higher decades maybe, and we are having, of course, we are having a trade deficit, and after the transfers, we are having a current account deficit also. Finally, supported by some inflows, where we are in most of the years we are recording EU surpluses, but that means sometimes it's quite possible that we are generating some sort of vulnerabilities. And all in all, it means it's the right time for us to use balance sheet approach for surveillance. And as a central bank, there are two key objectives. Two stated key objectives are economic and price stability and financial system stability. Most of the functions of the bank are aligned to achieve these two key objectives. But other than that, we are doing several agency functions of the government: foreign exchange management, public debt management, regional development, ETF management, etc. This one has some relevance to balance sheet approach also, since we are having some control over certain statistics. That's why I mentioned this slide. And if I say something about central bank's policy framework, we are having floating exchange rate since 2001, and we are doing monetary targeting with the reserve money as the operational target. We plan to move to inflation targeting, but still there are some obstacles. One main obstacle is structural obstacle is high budget deficit. We have to reduce it to a sustainable level before moving to inflation targeting. Other thing is somewhat technical. We are having some problems with our index that is being addressed right now. Most probably by end of this year we will come with the new better index. Current index is based on the consumption patterns of the consumers in 1952. It's very well done. And with regard to IMF, we are having article for surveillance and check. But when it comes to BSA, it's a totally new concept. We are subscribed to DDS and plan to move to SDDS. And this is some snapshot of the financial sector of Sri Lanka. And I have shown the percentage of assets as a share of the total. Central bank is there, and there are licensed commercial banks. In broad money, we include only the central bank and licensed commercial banks. Only LCBs can accept demand deposits. Other than that, there are a few more types of institutions who accept deposits. They are licensed specialized banks, registered finance companies, and there are some cooperative rural banks and different credit cooperative societies. They also accept some sort of private savings deposits. There are other financial institutions that include specialized leasing companies, private dealers for government securities, and some merchant banks, unit trusts, venture capitals, and insurance companies. Other than that, there are two large superannuation funds: employee provident fund and employee trust fund, and some private provident funds. You can see from the as a share of the total assets of the financial system, they are significant. And out of these entities, now there are two state-owned commercial banks, and they own, I'm not sure about the exact number, but at least more than 50% of the asset base of these licensed commercial banks. And when it comes to licensed specialized bank, I think 90% is owned by state-owned companies. And this employee provident fund and employee trust fund also is more or less controlled by the government. Right. Now, the problem is if we are going to use balance sheet approach, how we should sectorize our country's total aggregate balance sheet. Because now, as I learned from this seminar, IMF allows some flexibility for countries. But still, there are some advantages in complying to some accepted standard. So we have monetary authority and central government, of course, is within the public sector, and we do not have a big problem with regard to local government. It's more or less a part of the central government, and they do not borrow directly. But the biggest problem is with the LCBs. We have three types of licensed commercial banks: state-owned ones, domestic private commercial banks, and branches of foreign banks. So the purpose-wise and functionally and structurally, there are fundamental differences between three entities. And LSB is also opposed to blocks here, and EPF and ETF is more or less within this one. And within the financial sector, there are some firms, and with regard to non-financial corporations, the only possible source that we can obtain data is getting the data from the stock exchange. There are 236 companies listed at the Colombo Stock Exchange, but they represent, I think, quite a large share of the total non-financial corporate sector. Again, some of the companies are owned partially by the government. Some of the companies are partially owned by foreign entities. It's very complex. Right. Now, if we follow 7x7 approach, the standard approach, we can categorize like this: central bank, and to the central bank we can include other public corporations. As ODCs, we have to consider only licensed commercial banks, and under OFCs we have all these categories. And under non-financial corporations, at the moment it's not possible to extend our arms beyond the horizon of our Colombo Stock Exchange listed companies. But I understand that's a practice of most other companies also, and I don't think it will be a problem. And we can categorize the rest of the companies under households and unlisted companies. Now the problem is, if there's a problem of the central government, they can easily transfer that to state-owned commercial banks and make it a problem of the state banks. Then it will be reflected within the financial sector as a problem of the financial sector. In many instances, we have observed some imbalances, because when we take the financial, licensed commercial banks as a whole, it gives us one picture. But when we disaggregate state-owned banks to one side and other banks to other side, it's completely different. It's the case for even for daily liquidity management. It's a case. Sometimes overall market liquidity is imbalanced, but our interbank rates are very high because there's a large imbalance between those two parts. Okay. Then the problem is whether we should adopt some other approach. Now, I have seen Malaysia has descended and developed a 9x9 approach. That's somewhat good for Sri Lanka, but in Sri Lanka's case, there will be one more arm. So, if we have to actually analyze all the risks, internally we have to consider all these possibilities. But the problem is, this is too complex. It is not easy to present it even to someone, and it's difficult for someone to understand the 10 by 10 matrix. And it doesn't allow us to do international comparison. At the same time, at the moment, since the way that we are collecting data more or less compatible with the 7 by 7 approach, if we go for an approach like this, there will be more blanks than filled columns. Okay. Now, data availability. Now, these are the standard data sources you are suggesting. So, when it comes to Ulan-Batar, it's still on trial basis. IIT, JETS, IITs also we have compiled on testing basis 2 years ago, but still it's on it has not processed progressively. And JETS and CPIs also has not done. So there's a problem. Does it mean we are at square one? Okay. But the situation is not that bad. If I list the entities, first we have central bank and licensed commercial banks. So the licensed commercial banks are covered by our consolidated monetary survey. There's an online data reporting system. Every month, licensed commercial banks report their balance sheet data online, and they are very detailed and reliable. So with regard to these two entities, we do not have any problem. And other than that, we cover licensed specialized banks and registered finance companies also in our financial survey. They also have online links to submit data. So more or less they are under control. And when it comes to this entity, it's cooperative rural banks, different credit societies, and all these entities, we do not collect data monthly, but we collect data for our annual report annually, but on paper. And for financial stability reports, we collect half yearly also. So since recently, so practically once in every 6 months we are collecting data. But still, some of these companies like venture capital companies, insurance companies, etc., they do not publish their accounts monthly. We can only obtain their annual statements. And there are some discrepancies. Some are having financial years ending December, some are having financial years ending March. And other thing is, since they are not regulated by central bank directly, they do not worry that much, unlike the regulated institutes. But anyway, we are having some sort of data, annual data. And with regard to central government also published their annual accounts since last year. Anyway, there are ways that we can obtain central government data also. When it comes to government corporations, there is significant sector of our country, and there are potential source of some vulnerabilities, but still it is difficult to get data, but we can do a good attempt. And when it comes to listed companies, again there are some problems, but it is not impossible. And non-listed companies and households, at the moment there's no way that we can collect information. And for the rest of the world, we are compiling BOP data, but there are many things that we have to improve on that area also. And there are some other data sources, important data sources. One thing is the securities depository system. Ownership of all the government securities are centrally recorded at a system installed in the central bank. So we have the possibility to categorize central government debt even up to the 7 categories or 9 categories or whatever. Only thing is, at the moment they are recorded under 2 categories. One thing is direct participants of the system, which includes commercial banks and primary dealers, and beneficiary owners who are those whose accounts are within the accounts of those entities. But it is not difficult. All their names and all the details are recorded using some IT system. We can flag them according to the exact categories, and we can extract the data. And not very liberalized. So most of the capital foreign exchange transactions has to be reported to foreign exchange department. So from there, there's great room for us to collect data. But the only thing is, I think most of them are still on paper. So it's not an easy task to enter them and compile. And other than that, we can collect the data on credit and debit cards. That also is not a difficult thing. Of course, we are collecting data, but we may not have the required depth. But we have some data. So overall, if I put it in matrix form, we are more or less under control of these two things: central bank and other depository corporations. And when it comes to other financial corporations, so with regard to these two sectors, which are relevant to SR and SR, we are in a position to provide monthly data collection program. But when it comes to other financial institutes, at the moment we can provide data only annually, but still we may not have all the breakdowns that we need. And for the government also, definitely we can provide aggregate data, but some delay and annually. But we will have to improve the reporting formats to get breakdowns. And for non-financial private sector, I mean the listed companies, it's a very tedious task. If necessary, we can collect all the annual reports of those companies. They are on paper, and we can enter and do a good estimate of their assets. If I want to do this as a research, I can do it as a one-time thing, but if we want to do it regularly, we have to, it's not easy. So we have to develop some service to some form. So that's the situation of availability of data. So what that means is there's a possibility for us to implement that. But there should be some sort of action plan. As I told at the beginning, the knowledge of PSO is totally new to Sri Lanka. So first thing is the concept of PSA has to be sold to the bank. So I am having some opportunity to do that after this training. I am having the opportunity to do presentation to the training committee comprising the senior officers of the bank and public seminar to the staff of the bank. So that way I can sell the concept initially, and after that we have to form some sort of group, because various tasks related to this implementation are done by different departments and different divisions of the bank. Within the economic research department, money and division, bank division compiles the data which has to come into one SR and SR. Balance of data done by another division, IF division. And public finance division deals more with government debt. And we have a newly established financial stability department. This is more or less going to be their stuff also, and public debt department. Other than that, we have with the assistance of the exchange control department, ETF, IT, and the bank supervision department. And after that, we have to prepare a single data source. We have to gather all the information, and we have to develop necessary reporting formats, and finally we have to develop necessary surveys to fill any gaps. Still there are a lot of gaps, particularly with regards to non-financial corporate sector and households, etc. So there's no shortcut than developing proper surveys. And for doing all these things, we can get the assistance of you, I suppose, and at the same time the assistance of other colleagues who have implemented in the region. And finally, as I told once, it can be done at a one-time view, but the thing is there should be a proper mechanism to happen it continuously. There should be a scheme and procedure. For that there should be an institutional setup. And more or less, I think they will be able to implement PSA soon.
Questions, sir? Yes. That's very good. Yes. Do the rural banks in your country as a deposit takers, and if the loan to the If yes, I just want to elaborate in German. As our experience that when the banks, even that the rural banks, as a deposit taker, they should categorize as the ODC, not OFC, right?
Indeed, you are correct. That is a breakdown there on that one chart between the line between the other depository corporations and other financial corporations would need to be reviewed. And a lot of what he had included under the OFC category would properly be classified as an ODC. So that's something that, you know, I guess as we review the SRF data and communicate with the central bank authorities, we would encourage them to do as well.
What about the compilation of broad money? Should they be in the broad money?
That would be our recommendation, yes. We have to be a little flexible on that because the manual does say that the definition of broad money is set up by the countries. But you know, at certain points, you have to say, no, those are very much behaving just as commercial banks do, or other typical depository corporations. So therefore, they would need to be treated that same way. And what we oftentimes can recommend at that point is that another definition of money be established, an M3 or something that's called broad money, which has the full financial, or the full depository corporation coverage.
With my opinion, when I consider now I mentioned the category called license specialized that, within that there are again it's not a homogeneous group. There are some companies which are more or less acting as commercial banks, even though they do not have the authority to accept demand deposits, they accept savings deposits, and they even issue debit cards, which means it's possible to withdraw cash on demand, but that's particularly so in case of the National Savings Bank as biggest state-owned bank. But rural banks are comparatively small, and most of them accept depositing small amounts in rural areas, and they are. I'm not sure whether they are very much similar to commercial banks. At the moment, there are so many differences between them and commercial banks. Overall, I think sometimes we may have to be.
Yeah, it's just something that would need to be kind of looked at and taken into consideration, on a group basis or even a case-by-case basis. But more often than not, even the rural banks I know in Indonesia included in the USR. Probably the same sort of general operational structure as supposed to be ODCs. So, like I say, with I know Sri Lanka's on the list to receive technical assistance in monetary and financial statistics later in this fiscal year for the IMF. So probably get some good help at that time.
Any more questions? Again, for Sri Lanka.